Alright, this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. I'm the second one. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. I'm both of those things. Neither? Just having you here makes me plenty happy gaming pleasures. I don't need a suborbits. I mean, I guess a sub is better if I have to choose between them, because it gives me an opportunity to give back to people, because I could do more emotes if I get more subs, but it really, I don't need anything. I just want people to come and hang out and have fun. Y'all are going to take care of me, right? While I play this game. Highly disturbing content. Alright. Team Salvato. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. They really want to be sure of that. Alright. We'll just leave it all alone. Thanks for the lurk, Wild Dreams. Alright, let's do a new game. My name is Hokius. Hey! Okay. Something to look forward to. I see an annoying girl running toward... How do you know she's annoying already? Toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air. I can read, like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. I mean, that sounds fine. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. Oh, okay. But how would you wouldn't call your good friend annoying? That's rude. Excuse me. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. I do know. I know all about that. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up, 'cause she's a girl. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk. What is wrong with me? Why can't I word? Crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ha ha! I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Hokius. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. That's my automatic reaction when a girl talks to me is like, I really don't want people to think that we're a thing. Okay, they can think whatever else they want as long as they don't think we're a thing. That's what I say to... No, I've never said that. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. I thought it was going to be creepy for a second. I didn't know what it was going to be speckled with. But I wasn't anticipating other students. I was like, other students. I figured it would be something scary. I don't know. I guess we're not there yet. By the way, Hokius, have you decided on a club to join yet? Plasma! Could be speckled with plasma. I mean, people have plasma inside of them, so a club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Did everybody else hear it? Do you hear the game sound? Because this should be coming from the same thing. But you didn't hear plasma? Huh. But you didn't... Huh. That's super weird. Well, that's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too loud. Where I dismissively go along with whatever she's talking about. My camera is being stupid today. Alright, there we go. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. It is me. It's totally me. This is me. That's me. That's me. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? I see this all the time in anime and Japanese video games. The translation to carefree must mean something different in Japanese, because it's not a bad thing to be carefree in English. Like, oh, you're carefree, good job, way to go. But in Japanese, it's like, oh, you're carefree. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. Anime bro! That's me, I'm an anime bro. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Well, I don't get it still. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Dan Salvato. Sure. Hey, Drew! I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori, yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. So that's where the literature club part comes in. I have a feeling that I'm gonna join the literature club after all, somehow. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president? Not much. We're just on our first day of school. I guess it's not the first day of school like in the story, but it's the first day of school for us. She's been my best friend since we were small children, Cinema. I didn't just meet her. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Sure, yes, that. That's what happened. Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. But I want cupcakes. Can I have the cupcakes? Even if that Hokius doesn't get the cupcakes? I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. She's not your best Gil either. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. At least, it wasn't for a bowl of stew. Bo. Never even heard of that one. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! You're batshit insanity. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Hokius, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. I don't have that many girl voices. This is gonna be interesting. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry? Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. She's probably a furry, too. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. It's nice to meet both of you. Excuse me, fights hare hunters. Wow. Alright then. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Hokius. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. So which one's your favorite, Cinema? Basically, completely out of my league. So having her, Natsuki, so having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Hokius. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. That is... okay. I don't know what any of that means. Sorry. I got a little too excited. Then, how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens a closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Everything gives me an appetite. Sorry, Eddie. I hope you feel better soon. What? You just baked cookies and I didn't get any? I want cookies. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I'm willing to throw myself on that sword. Yay! Job interviews in D&D. Cheat, you're going to the game? That's awesome. I'm gonna be sleeping through half of it. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Oh, okay, cool. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri is just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? Alright, get you some food, buddy. Apparently that's what we're all doing right now. Everyone's getting food but me. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. You're fine. I don't think you've missed too much. We're just having cupcakes and tea with the Literature Club. Everyone seems very nice. Did I move the comments? Oh, I guess I did. Yeah, so this is where they sit when I play a PC game. You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I think I did it the way I did it in the console games because that's how it fits. How it fit for Kingdom Hearts, but maybe I should look at it and move it for Persona. I haven't actually bothered to look at it for Persona. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. Yeah, okay. Everybody's got their skills. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Hokius, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. She should read Brandon Sanderson. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? You should. Brandon Sanderson's the best. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I did read a horror book once. You should read the rest of them. You might see some familiar faces. You find comfort in Sonic lore. The Stamp book. I don't know which one that is. But I don't remember. Elysium was the first book he got published. The horror book I read is the one Goodbye Jojo wrote. That's the only horror book I've ever read. The author is extremely pretty and super strong and could probably kick my ass. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimal level. Have I read Warmind? I can't remember if I've read Warmind. The Emperor's Soul, I read once. It was very short, so quick, I barely kind of took it in. I need to read it again. Thank you. I appreciate not having my ass kicked by people I like. Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right. I thought I'd read all of the Brandon Sanderson books, but I don't remember Warmind. Warbreaker? Is that the book? Alright. We'll see you soon, Eddie. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Yeah, that one's the hardest Brandon Sanderson book for me to read, but it's really good. Like, it took me forever to get into that one, but about halfway through, I was finally into it. It's not really, I think it might be the first chronologically, maybe, but Elysium was the first he got published, and then the Mistborn series came after that, or at least the first 3 Mistborn books. But it might be the first one chronologically. I know the latest ones chronologically are the Stormlight Archive. There's a few others that are in the universe too. I can't remember what they are or what he calls the universe even. It has a name, and I've forgotten it, and I am terrible. Really? I wouldn't have expected that from you. I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. Aha! There you go. You just do that, then. I read them in all out of order. I don't think it really matters what order you read them in. But, I have a lot of fun identifying people in the different books that were in the other books. So, reading them in that order probably will help with that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. He was doing shared universe before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was even a thing. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Yeah, oh gosh, Ender's Game. I haven't read any of the other books in the series. I only read Ender's Game, but that is some serious thought fodder. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? But Brandon Sanderson did it better. Meh. What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I've always been willing to share my writing. I've also always assumed that everyone would hate it. It's a good thing this song is good because we've been listening to it for a while. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. I mean, maybe, but being weird is cool, I think. I assume everyone already finds me weird, so maybe that's my thing. Then the next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. I believe you. I'm glad you were able to get over it. You should share some of your writing with me sometime. Excuse me. Isn't that right, Hokius? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. You have a blog? Link your blog! Put it in the chat right now! Do it! Hold on, there's still one problem. Welcome back, Drew! What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Look at all those sad eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, yay, everyone go read all of Kenny's stuff. I'm sure there are cute girls in other clubs. I have a blog, but I don't write on it. Kane! It's Kane! Hey, Kane! How's it going? I'm waiting for this game to stop being so dang cute and start being creepy. How was the stream? How was your hand? How is everything? Hokius? You all... That's okay, you can complete it when you complete it. And then we'll read it. Ooh, super. I like sugar, so that'll be fine. I'm defenseless against all of these girls. No, I'm Hokius. I mean, you can call me Hokius. You don't have to call me God. It's fine. I don't require worship. Just adoration, I think, is sufficient. How am I supposed to make clear-headed decisions when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just like ready to be spooked. All these people were like, hey, gotta play a spooky game. Play Doki Doki Literature Club. It's real spooky. And then I started the game and it was like, hey, you, specifically you, don't play this. And I was like, oh, okay. But it's been really cute so far. Except that this Hokius is mean to his neighbor friend. Oh, hey, you can see my mouse. I didn't even realize you could see my mouse. I do match the warning. I'm easily disturbed and I suffer from anxiety and depression. But Cinema promised to take care of me, so... Actually, Cinema promised to take care of... Cinema promised that you'd all take care of me. So it'll be okay. Take care of my pets. You can't kidnap Callie, Cinema. Even if you both agree about UBI, you cannot kidnap my dog. Okay, I've decided then. It'll be fine. You're all here. Ha 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 ha! Nice try. Nice try. You almost got me. Almost. Oh man, you guys. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. I don't believe you. I'm really pretty sure that that can't be true. The reason I set the goal ridiculously high was because I was pretty sure that game was going to destroy me. Sayoria wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Yeah, I suspect I'm with Cinema Bun on this one. I don't actually expect it to be that bad for me. I think it'll be okay. I just like to point out that I match all the things and that you all should love me more. That's all I'm saying, really. Oh, Eddie posted, there's your blog, okay. Well, the goal was 25 subscriptions in September or 10,000 bits, and we did not get there. Thank you for the bits, Kenny. You did, which is why I'm going to play that other game. There's a 15-minute jump scare game that I'm going to play instead. But not tonight. We'll play that another night. I don't know when yet. I was kind of waiting for a night when you were going to be here right at the start, and then I'd play that right at the start, and then move on to the next game. But we'll see if that happens. We may have to do it at the end of a stream sometime. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Yeah, I am baffled at how this is going to end up being super messed up, Kane, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, I think my plan is to play that on Thursday nights once we finish this. Kenny gave me that idea last night, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So, you'd look forward to that. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. So, we came, and we ate a cupcake, and we drank some tea, and that's the whole meeting, huh? That's it? That's all? Okay. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Oh man, I know that's hard. That is super hard to do. Good luck. Yay, hanging out all the time. Woo! Monica looks over at me once more. Hokius, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? Oh, I should read that in the Dragon Ball Z announcer voice. That's a perfect line for that. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? Next time on Dragon Ball Z. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Oh no, now I'm snorting. We're off to a terrific start. I haven't been spooked, but I've snorted. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Hokius, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Monica. I feel like this should be a Lou Bega song, right? Except I can't fit all those syllables in the song because I don't know it well enough, so I'm not going to sing it. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Yes, Mambo number 5. That is what I was referring to. All right. I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh gosh. This is important. All right, so like I'm not sure what to do here. Should I let you all help me pick things, or should I just do it by myself and see what happens? I don't know what you guys would rather do. Because I know you love picking the things in Persona 5, but you're the ones who don't know what'll happen in Persona 5, and I'm the one who does. And then now we're flipped in this game. I like Yuri the best so far. Purple hair. How well do you fly a kite? Also, she likes fantasy books, and I like fantasy books. The creepy stuff. Contamination. She likes long words. Does she jump when I pick a word she likes? Is that how that works? So I know that I picked a word she likes? Okay. Apparently I'm good at this. Oh, that was a her word. She likes complicated words. Tenacious. Infinite. Empty. Nope, she likes empty. Because her head's empty. That was mean. I shouldn't have said that. Let's see. Disoriented. What does Doki Doki mean? Extra. No, that's her again. Heartbeats. Oops. I screwed up. I just write 50 Shades of Grey. That's not a poem. After image. Uncontrollable. Vertigo. I don't think that's what he says. Oh boy. Effulgent. Unrestrained. Existence or misery? Existence. Universe. Oh no. I don't remember that. No, I'm sorry. Misfortune. No, I guessed wrong again. Incapable. I think I still got mostly Yuri, though. Okay, it's okay. Okay, I think I got mostly Yuri, so I think it's fine. Hi again, Hokius. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Hokius. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Did she just threaten my life? I feel like she just threatened my life. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Hokius always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. That's true. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. That doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound like me at all. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. I mean, I might help cook, but I don't clean. That's not in my skill set. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Hokius can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Is it weird to say that other people can be my good friend? Is it weird to be my good friend? That makes all of you weird. How do you feel about that? Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori, you're pretty weird. Wait, I already said that. Crap, I lose. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Are you sure it's an accident? I suspect foul play. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. It doesn't censor it when I type it. It does sound awesome. I like books. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Or is it Natsuki? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book. Okay, so it is Natsuki. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, the music changed, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Ah. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... I've made... This world is connected. Slap that like button if you know that reference. That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I just wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I no, you do not unlike if you don't know it. You just double like if you do know it. I know Cinema knows what I'm talking about. Actually, I'm not sure. Drew probably knows what I'm talking about, too. I bet, but I'm not surprised that nobody else does. You only watched Kingdom Hearts once. That's, when you go into the hidden area at the beginning of the game, and you run into the cloaked figure, when you're looking for mushrooms, he turns to you and he says, "This world is connected." I've played the game like 15 times, so most of the dialogue is tied to the darkness. It's obviously a Smash Mouth reference. Okay, so obviously Cinema Bun has me completely owned. I have been owned. I am owned. I bow to the master. Why are you like this? Alright, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. Yeah. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? Well, what's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Yeah, that absolutely. So, there was a thing back on Facebook like a few years ago where it was like, why don't guys go to bookstores and offer to buy ladies books like they do at the bar? You offer to buy them drink. So I went on a date with this woman, and we talked about books, and we talked about things she enjoyed. Excuse me. So I bought her a copy of The Final Empire as a date gift thing, because I was thinking about that Facebook meme. I don't know that I can save. I've not been given... Oh, I guess I can. So I gave her a copy of The Final Empire, because she seemed like she would like that. And I love that book. Like I said, Brandon Sanderson's my favorite, so I gave her that. And, so, you know, it went pretty well. She ghosted me. You know, but at least she has a good book. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. It's all good. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. Eddie, stop trying to steal my material. Hello, it's... Kayla? How you doing? What is this face? It's a stare. Are we having a staring contest? I will win. I will win the staring contest. You cannot defeat me. I am the staring contest win. Okay, never mind. Hey, being a weeb's fun. I like being a weeb. I remember when being a weeb was a bad thing. My, how times have changed. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Death March to the Parallel World. I don't know what that is. Fill me in, Kayla! I think human experiment prisons are the future. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Hokius? Isekai, anime, I know what isekai means. I didn't know that, 2 weeks ago. So I know what that means. That's cool. I watched Log Horizon not too long ago. That's the only isekai series I've gotten around to watching so far. I've never read a light novel. Am I a bad weeb? Am I about to have my weeb card revoked? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot Yuri is into those things. See, this could double as actually me. I've read a whole series of manga. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. I just have the one series of manga. Girogamesh, issue number 1 of Bobobo. It's just that those kinds of stories... Ah, that's smart, Kenny. I want to read the KH manga, I've just never gotten around to it. They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. I have read a light novel because I read half of the Kingdom Hearts light novel. And I was like, no, this is too dumb, I can't do it. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? I need to check out that manga. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. I'm not sure that I do, but if that sounds interesting to you, might I recommend Vic and Frank Necromancers? Frank and Vic Necromancers? I can't remember which name comes first. Help me out, cinema. I don't know what Danmachi is either. I feel like I don't have a clue what I'm doing anymore. Vic and Frank Necromancers. It's on Amazon. I'm just gonna keep recommending it basically for forever. So don't stress. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. I will do it. And there's a sequel coming out soon. I don't know if you heard. I also hate watching Twitch on my phone. Danmachi's the short name of it. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Oh, I've heard of that. That sounds funny. I want to watch it someday when I have more time and I finish Dragon Ball Z. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Well, then leave. No one's forcing you to be here. I just heard about that one last week. I need to find out more about that because I don't know anything about it. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. Oh, good. I like adorable things. That's why I've been watching, Card Capture Sakura. I thought Honest Age was going to be here tonight. Wait, what happened? In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Aha. You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Tisk tisk. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I'd put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Very smooth. Why did you think I was about to turn into a werewolf? Do you know something that I should know? The good parts. Ah, yes, slip into my seat. I will slip into your seat. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. Don't lie. I know you like the sounds that I make, Drew. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. A very good place to start. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Oh, heck yeah. No, I couldn't do it. I would die if I tried to pull this off. I would lose my mind. Whether I read slower or faster, I would lose my mind. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. He is extremely skilled and slick. He is the most charming protagonist. These women are helpless before him. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and the other side of the book. Yes, he is still a jerk to Sayuri. Watch her eyes. Alright, watching her eyes. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. She just looked at me. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. Oh, she smiled. I saw it. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. Nope. Now she's reading again. She's a saint who likes to read dark books. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. we continue the first chapter in silence. Yes, she is, because I would die. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? She looked at me! How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. Thought I saw something happening over here. She did say that. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. Spoopy dating time! With purple girls who like books. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Hokius, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. Oh, he was doing so good, too. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What a nice save. A+, 10 out of 10. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I was watching her eyes. I didn't see anything spoopy, Kenny. Did I miss it? I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. Oh, it wasn't spoopy? Just that she looks at me sometimes? Was that all I needed to notice? Oh, okay. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. It is kind of adorable. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? Cinema! Only with you. Nope, that's not it. Nerve endings. There we go. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own time. I feel like I just got assigned a homework. I got assigned a homework. Excuse me. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. 2 chapters is a lot of reading. I may not be a newbie. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Yeah, I guess that's true. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Oh no, another poem! Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook, and I probably have, like, real homework to do and stuff. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? One of the Jackbox party games has a rap battle mode.
Clever little sneak.
Oh my gosh, it's another raid! Thank you, Hanselman, for the raid! How you doing? That does sound like a lot of work. I kill people in the rap game, just not in a good way. You should be scared. I am also scared. Woo, it's a party of raiders. I believe you. Goodbye, Jojo. Welcome to the stream, Eli Born Ellie Born Belly, or is it Eli Born Belai? Warlock a Dash. How was your stream, Hunselman? You don't think the order here matters? Eli Bomb. Oh. I'm a dummy. I'm sorry. Eli Bomb Eli. All right. I just wanted to make it into something fun. I don't know. Fun. All right, let's start with Yuri then. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. Oh, Ellie? Ellie Bomb Ellie? I'm gonna get this name right if it kills me. Oh yeah, welcome to the stream, Draco Custos. I will not stop trying. I got it. Yay! Names are hard. No one can ever pronounce my name. So I feel that pain for sure. That's why I make sure that I get it eventually. I can trust her opinion to be fair. ... As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Alright, have fun. Good seeing you too. Thank you for the raid. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. Yeah, I'm with you. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Oh, please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calmly breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. I have a feeling that her poetry is going to be super creepy by the end of this game. What have I gotten myself into? Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo-hoo. What is hoo-hoo? What does that mean? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Hokius. Really? Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo! She's an owl. I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. Nice. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Hokius. Me too. Alright. Who next? Oh, I can make it make noise. Which one's your favorite, Kenny? Which one's your favorite, Jojo? I've only heard Cinema's favorite. You want Natsuki next, okay? Excuse me. Hokius, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home! Monica and Natsuki. Well, you like their poetry the best, but do you like them the best? Cinema said earlier that Natsuki was her favorite girl in the game. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? You're used to be? Oh, boy. That's not promising. Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. I do catch innuendo with my face. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah? Yeah? I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Nice. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I don't want to take anything away from her. Alright, we got Sayori and Monica. Let's go to Monica. We'll save Neighbor Girl for last. Hi, Hokius. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Excuse me. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Hokius. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Hokius. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. I can't really do a girl surfer stoner voice. Sorry, I'm bad. I have failed you, Panzerzol. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. I have no idea. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Whoa. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. Monica has the best poem. I don't get her poem at all, but I will take your word for it, because I'm not a poetry person. I have my own form of poetry that I write when I write poetry. It's called Jeremiacal poetry, and I just mostly flip-flop rhyming schemes all the way through until I'm done. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. Road. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. So that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. It seems what you need to do here is put it in a trash can. Who should I show my poem to next? This is a good poem, Hokius. Not Sayori. Too late. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Hokius. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Try new things like this for other people? That's something that only really good people do. I thought I saw something weird happen, but I think it was just my mouse. One of us? I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah, I'm totally a weeb. I don't think you get to Doki Doki Literature Club without being a weeb. Yeah, my primary focus in gaming is JRPGs. Thank you for the follow! Well, I know that, like, things are supposed to happen in the background sometimes, so I'm trying to keep my peripheral vision open. I never heard of it until this year. And I assumed it was a dating game, like just a real weeby dating game when I first heard of it. And then Cinema Bun and Kenny and a couple other people told me I needed to play it for October. Oh. Well, now I'm really confused. So anyway, I'm trying to keep my peripheral vision open for like stuff to happen in the background, but I don't know if I'm seeing anything or if I'm missing things or what's going on. We may not be to the part yet where things happen. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Alright. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. You're a slow burn. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Yes, this is the first day. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. This is my favorite poem. I like this poem a lot. This poem is very deep with many meanings and it's a good poem. This is a good poem. I want breakfast too. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Ah, yeah. I'm not answering that question. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. Not that that's a question, but I'm not answering it. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Ah, yeah. But next time I won't forget. and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay, I changed my mind. Sayori is my favorite. Phew. I guess that's everyone. She's a delicate, hungry flower. Like me. She reminds me of me. I am a delicate, hungry flower. Yes, let's. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. I'm also kind of terrified of Yuri now, so that doesn't help her cause. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. I just have a sense about her that she's terrifying. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Yeah, that. Natsuki's eyes furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant... Yeah, a little bit. Which makes me like her less. I mean, purple hair is just not enough when you're going to act like that. Because her poem was good. All of their poems were good. Except Monica's, because I don't get hers at all. But it's probably just too good for me. The language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? I mean, yeah, obviously. Is that an option? Can we Persona 5 this? Alright, I will learn to appreciate them. I just realized that there were only 3 girls in that poem selection screen. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Hokius did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Hokius liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Oh, this is gonna go south in a hurry. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Hokius appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I like this music. This is a good song. No. If I was full of myself, I'm always full of myself. By the way, if I wasn't full of myself, I would have to be full of someone else. I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Hokius started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys! Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Hokius, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Hokius. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. Oh boy. You understand that, right, Hokius? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Help me, Sayori, I'm pretty sure. Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri! But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Eh? Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Hokius. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I choose Hokius. Has Hokius been chosen? I choose Hokius. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. And I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. This is pretty cute. This is pretty dang cute. If this was like an anime right now, I'd be like, nah, I'm in love with this anime because it's adorable and I want to love all these adorable kids and like take them home with me and give them cookies. Big and beautiful. Wait. Oh dear. Yup, she did just say that. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. This is a good stream. There's good people in the chat. So, this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Caught up with the 2017 anime? I am watching Dragon Ball Z, so... But I'm if they simulcast My Hero Academia on Funimation now, I'll probably watch that as it comes out, which will be very exciting. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? Next week! You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing your poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. I am trying to catch up weeb. I didn't get into Japanese stuff until college. I was afraid of it. So I'm like just trying to catch up on all the stuff I missed when I was a kid. And also trying to watch new stuff. It's hard. And it took, I was, none. I didn't know you read hentai. Oh, well, I guess I'm not a very good weeb then. Even in college, I only played the JRPGs. I only got into anime, a few years ago, and I only, started watching anime on a regular basis, a couple years ago? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of old school stuff this year. I watched Inuyasha and Sailor Moon, and now I'm on Dragon Ball Z. So I was just kind of watching whatever I found, and then I was like, all right, let's buckle down and watch some old stuff. Some classic stuff, as it were. Oh no, not Pokemon. I don't think I can handle that. It was alright, well, mostly. I read them for the articles. Oh my gosh, you guys. Fine. Hokius, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends, too. That's good to know. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job of impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Hokius, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Thanks for the bits, swag! You're the swaggest! Swagalicious. How you doing, swag? So, Sayori has a leg up in my mind as best girl, too, because, spending all that time with her is woo, yay, spend time with girl, like girl better. Oh my gosh. I read an ecchi manga series. Does that count, Panzer? I can't say I'm not enjoying it either. Spend time with girl, like girl better. Yeah, I mean, that's logic, right? Sayori, about what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No, no, no. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. Gurks! It's like the pickle, right? I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Is Gurks not short for gherkins? Phew! You know, Hokius, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun! It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. Sayori, I'm stuck in Persona 5. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so that seems like a good stopping point for tonight. Good times, good times. Yes, I would, and I am. So, I don't know how far we are into the game right now, but I'm enjoying it a lot so far. Zero spoop so far. Oh, good. That'll make it really easy. Huh? What? Drew, you lost me there, buddy. So this is fun. We'll look forward to doing this again next Thursday. I also date on, it's true. Sayori actually has... What is it? But it's not obvious. She'll tell me, but she hasn't told me yet, and I gotta write this poem. Oh well, we'll figure it out when we come back. So, the next time... breakfast foods. It's breakfast foods! I'm sure of it! Probably. He's probably not as airheaded as I thought. So yeah. So I'll look forward to playing this. We'll be back at this again next Thursday. Saturday we're doing point and clicks. We should be finishing up Star Trek Judgment Rights. And after we finish Star Trek Judgment Rights, we're going to go back to Space Quest, at least for Space Quest 4, before we move on from there. So that's the point and clicks agenda. Star Trek Judgment Rights, and then Space Quest 4. And then I don't know what comes after that yet. And then Monday, more Persona 5. So, remember that Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The Sunday night stream is gone. It's now a Saturday afternoon stream, trying to get it a little bit earlier for some of the people who can't be here later. I've watched Trigun. That's one I've seen. I love the first half. I can't stand the second half. It ends about 6 p.m. Sometime between 6 and 6:30. Depends on dinner, depends on whatever. Oh, before we go, we got to do the ending credits. Hey, Gaming Pleasures, you're back. Thanks to all of the supporters of the stream, my lovely mods, my beautiful subscribers, and my terrific patrons. You're all beautiful and lovely, and I give you group hug for everybody. Everybody gets a group hug. Honest Sage, also thank you for the subscription if you're out there. I'm sorry I haven't updated the credits yet. I am literally the worst. I know. I'm sorry. Group hugs for everyone. Yes. So I can't wait to see you all Saturday afternoon, Monday night, Thursday night, whenever I see you next. Yes. Thank you, Kenny. But until next time, I hope you all have a beautiful night, a beautiful weekend, whatever it is, and may all of your paths be paved with hexagonal stones. And this is the part where I do a quick shout out to all of my beautiful patrons. Go to my Patreon, linked in the description below, and sign up for as little as $1 a month to join them in helping me make more videos like this.